everyone, and welcome to another edition of Turn 5 Racing. I'm your host, Jake Wilson, welcoming you to another night of racing here at the high banks of Desoto Speedway. On tap tonight, we welcome back the Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Models to the high banks. They'll be going at it later here tonight. Joining them tonight will be the LKQ Pick Your Part Pure Stocks, the Take Aim Gun Range Street Stocks, the Bombers, and the Mini Stocks. But before we get to tonight's action, let's check in with our Fan Choice Interview Winner of the Week driver, the number 17 Super Late Model, Nick Neary. Joining us now on Turn 5 Racing, driving the number 7 Super Late Model tonight, is Danny Martin. Now, Danny, we're used to seeing you tearing up the sprint car circuit on dirt here in the state of Florida, but you're behind the wheel of the Super Late Model tonight. What led you to getting behind the wheel here tonight?
Last year, the Top Gun Sprint Series had a deal with Eagle Jet. Mr. Rick Gaber, the owner, he said whoever won the championship got to try his late model out. So we ended up winning the championship 13 and 14, 2 years in a row, and so here we are.
Now, how has the season been going for you so far here in 2015? I was able to catch a race last year, saw you pull off a win last year at East Bay. How's your season been going so far in 2015?
It's been good. We struggled a little bit at the beginning because we broke out a new car, but our worst finish was second. So we've finished first or second in every race. We've finally got that car figured out, and I think we've won the last 3 or 4 in a row. So we've been running real well. So we had a weekend off, so we figured we'd give the late model a shot.
Now, you've been out there getting some practice laps in it. How is the car feeling, and how are you getting adjusted to running out here with the Super Late Models here at Desoto?
Well, this is the first time. We tested once at New Smyrna, so this is the first race. Again, I want to thank Mr. Rick and Doug Elliott for giving me the opportunity. It's totally different, a lot of weight. I'm struggling a little bit in turns 3 and 4 trying to get the car turned. It wants to push on me. We've been working on it. It's crews. I'm probably not giving them the best feedback, so they're doing the best to work with me, and I'm doing the best to work with them. And they're doing an excellent job. We're having fun, so very thankful for the opportunity, and just go out there and log some laps. Well,
Danny, we're glad to have you here at Desoto Speedway. We got a big 100-lapper tonight with the Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Models, and keep an eye out on Danny Martin in the number 7 car here tonight with the Super Late Models. Joining us now on Turn 5 Racing is the winner of our Fans' Choice interview this week. It's driver the number 17 Super Late Model, Nick Neary. Nick, congratulations. First big win of the weekend, winning the Fan Choice here. You've gotten off to a great start here in 2015. Already been to victory lane once this year, and a third-place finish the last time out, which has you coming in the points leader tonight. How can you describe how 2015 has been so far to this point?
So far everything's gone really smooth. Still looking for a little bit of speed every weekend, but we're able to keep our nose clean, which helped us out a lot in the points. So this weekend we're trying a bunch of stuff, and I think we're getting somewhere. So we'll find out. We got one more practice coming up, and hopefully we can bring home another win tonight.
Real hot, real slick, and another good quality field of cars here is going to make for a really exciting late model race. And the last time you were battling hard with Dylan Bigley, who you're battling in the points as well, to hold him off and pick up a big third-place finish. How's it feeling so far for you, and do you think you guys are where you need to be for the night, or do you still need to gain a little more?
I still think we need to gain a little bit more. Between the last night and so far today, we've done a lot of testing, trying a lot of different things, some good, some bad. So we'll see how everything goes in qualifying.
Now, you come from a karting background, and I saw you did some karting a couple weeks ago, but you've got to tell the fans what you were able to go do at the beginning of this week, and you said you might even have an opportunity to go do it again. Tell the fans what you got to take part of this week.
Yeah, I went and did some testing in a Formula Lights car. It's a brand new series, brand new car. A friend of mine owns the team, and wanted me to go shake down one of the cars for him to do him a favor. But the car was a really incredible experience, a lot of fun, so hopefully racing it again next week.
Well, Nick, thank you for joining us on Turn 5, and congratulations on a really great start to the year so far. I want to thank all the fans who went online and voted for Nick as the Fans' Choice, and keep an eye out on Nick tonight as he goes for 100 laps with the Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Models here at Desoto Speedway. Joining us now on Turn 5 Racing, he drives the number 27 Street Stock in the Take Aim Gun Range Street Stocks. Tyler Lau picked up the win last time out in the Street Stocks, and you've only been in this car twice and now 3 times this year, but you've looked awful sporty both times out. What do you think your chances are going back-to-back but having another solid night tonight?
I mean, I think it's pretty good. The car is great. I got to thank Rich. He's the one who set this car up. I mean, he does amazing work with these cars. It just corners. I get down in there and it turns, so that makes it easier on me, especially when you start in the front too.
Now, last week it seemed like, you were running up front, and every time you would pull away and you get a nice lead, we get a caution, and everybody would pull back in. But it seemed like you were always able to have that extra little kick there that you were able to hold everybody off. Is that just a testament to how good this car is, or do you think, maybe it has something to do with the rest of the field maybe falling off a little bit? What is your take from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's the car. The car's really good, but I was pretty good on those restarts. I was giving them a hard time, so it was fun. You know what? I don't really mind the cautions every now and again, but there was a couple of them there where I was just like, especially the one on the last lap when they threw the caution. I was like, I did not need that one. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Obviously I got a bunch of friends and family, and I mean, Rich is the biggest one though. He's the one who just gets his car out here every week, and I gotta give the hat to him, man. He's the good guy, and he helps me out a ton.
Well, Tyler is going to look to try to keep his winning ways going here at Desoto Speedway as he looks to go back-to-back in the Take-Aim Gun Range Street Stocks here at the High Banks of Desoto Speedway.
So if I win again here.
Turn 5 Racing is presented by Dean's Tree Service. This time of year in Florida, we've got to be wary of the potential for hurricanes. The last thing you want is the risk of damaging your home and property. Dean's Tree Service specializes in large and dangerous tree removals for prepping for hurricane season. From tree trimming and removal to pruning and hauling, stump grinding, lot clearing, storm cleanup, and even mulching. Dean's Tree Service, 24-hour service from licensed and insurance professionals who guarantee to beat any written estimate. Call Dean's Tree Service at 941-650-8114. That's 941-650-8114. And be sure to tell them you heard about it on Turn 5 Racing. Junior Fan Club back here at the High Banks of Desoto Speedway. Tonight's Junior Fan Club featured drivers from our Bombers class, drivers of the number 93, Bubba Thompson and Jeff Firestein, and Dean Buttram, driver of the number 32 car. I want to thank you guys for coming out for the kids tonight and being a part of tonight's Junior Fan Club festivities. Joining us now on Turn 5 Racing, winner tonight of the big 100-lap Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Model Race. It's the number 30, Jesse Dutilli. Jesse, back in Victory Lane here at DeSoto Speedway. Had to fight off a lot of restarts there. The car was up front a majority of the race, but every single time we had a restart there, you had to worry about the 94 of Steve Dorr, Anthony Campy running up there with you. What was it like running with those guys and having to fight them off on all those restarts tonight?
Oh, it was a battle. Our car was really quick. We got to the front first. That paid dividends for us. But Anthony Campy ran real hard, it seemed. He was all over us there in the beginning of the race up to about midway. And Steve Dorr, classic Steve Dorr, just comes out of nowhere there towards the end, and all of a sudden he's right up front. So it was a heck of a race. Our car was really good, and it would pick up a push going in the corner. So one restart I got in a little too hot into one. I locked the rear tires up. Luckily, I was racing with somebody like Steve Dorr, who knew what was happening before I did, and made a correction to keep us from wrecking. Bounced off him, and we were able to go on. So not the way I like to do it. He said I drove in there about 3 cars too deep, and I apparently found that out afterwards. So, but the Integrity Transmission Chevrolet was, man, it was good. We had some issues Friday night. I had a water gauge break. We overheated the car a little bit and just didn't go according to plan. So you'll have that, and that's why you come out Friday nights and put in the effort. So I got to thank all my guys, Cameron Cruz, Kenny Gibson, my brother Jeff, everybody that puts a bunch of effort into this, that especially Carbone Motorsports. But we had a good luck charm. My nephew here is from the Army, all the way from Washington, was in the flag stand the whole race, so it's a good thing he didn't drop a flag on us. So, I mean, if he would have dropped a flag and we would have lost a race, I'd have had to get out and punch him. But none of that happened, so they left him up there the whole race. He was supposed to be there for a couple laps, so it was pretty cool. Fly all the way across the country and see your nephew in the grandstands the whole time while you get ready to win a race, so it was pretty awesome.
Now, a word I was using over the microphone tonight was patience. You know, when running these big 100-lap races like this, you got to save your stuff. And it seemed like Anthony was doing a good job saving his stuff early on. And you know, like I said, we had all those restarts. He seemed like he would mount a charge. And then when they switched spots and then Steve took the spot again, it was the same thing. You want to talk about some experience there and knowing when to be patient. trying to hold them off like that. What was it like? I mean, seeing Steve coming up there and gaining some momentum, and then early on Anthony doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was worried about Anthony because we outran him last race. He's on top of his stuff, as we are, and I knew he'd come back strong. And so the whole race, I was figuring we were going to be racing him for the win. Steve Dorr is Steve Dorr, and that's what he does. It seems like every race you're in with him, here he comes out of nowhere. Last quarter of the race, keeps his car clean, and he's right there. So I could see Campy would ride for a little bit, get up on it, and try to put it on us. We ran about as hard as I could the whole race. So trying to keep the lead, I knew if we lost the lead, it's difficult to get the lead back once you've lost positions for the restarts and the lead where you can run the line you need to run. But, you know, those guys are quick. That's why you come to race the quality of the state, and I couldn't be happier that we're in victory lane.
Well, they kick off their Memorial Day weekend with another victory here at Desoto Speedway. That's back-to-back wins here at Desoto, 4 wins in a row for the 30 car around the state. Jesse Dutilli, a winner once again here at the high banks of Desoto Speedway. Memorial Day weekend here at Desoto Speedway, and we wanted to pay homage to the great people that have sacrificed so much for this country. We wanted to talk to some of our veterans and some of our active military here at Desoto Speedway. We got a special guest joining us tonight. You flew in last Saturday night. Jeff Gilball Jr. here. Got to see your dad run the truck last week. Picked up a couple fourth-place finishes. Real quick, just how was it being able to see your dad out there and having such a good run like that and flying all the way in to see that?
Man, it was so awesome. I hadn't seen him race in about 11 years, and I knew he was building the truck about a year and a half ago, and when he told me he was finishing it, I had to make sure I was coming to watch him race.
Well, it was great to see you out here last week and again here this week. And as Memorial Day approaches here, tell the fans, you know, how long you've been active in the military and where exactly you're stationed and what you think your plans are going forward with the military.
Yeah, I've been stationed at Fort Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, just 20 minutes south of Seattle. I've been out there for 2 years now. Been in the Army 3 years. Did my basic training in Fort Jackson.
Now, Memorial Day weekend and racing seem to always go together, not even just NASCAR. But being in the military, you know, what kind of perspective do you have now of Memorial Day, and what kind of an appreciation do you have being an active military member now?
Now, see, you grow up thinking you're just getting another barbecue, another 4-day weekend off of school. But now I really look at it, and those are my brothers out there. And you lose a brother, and this is the day that we take to remember them. And it's an honor to serve this country.
What about any special shout-outs or anything to your family or anybody? I mean, we could put this on Facebook here. Anybody you want to say hi to and wish a happy Memorial Day to?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to wish all my brothers back home in Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. Just a huge shout-out to them. They're doing the same thing I am, seeing their family right now. Huge shout-out to my family here, all the Gilboas, the Dutillis. A huge shout-out to my Aunt Brandy. She just got out of the hospital, finally got home. And she's going to have her baby soon. She's going to be well.
Jeff, it's a pleasure to get to have you on the show here, and I want to thank you personally for serving this country and all that you do and the sacrifices that you make. And I want to wish everyone here on Turn 5 Racing a happy Memorial Day, and we look forward to seeing everybody back out here. If you happen to see a vet or see someone in the active military, be sure to shake their hand and thank them every time you can. Well, I figured it was time we got Bob from behind the camera here. Bob Culberson does all the filming here at DeSoto Speedway, all those great race tapes courtesy of Bob. And Bob, it's Memorial Day weekend this weekend. You know, you've been active in the military. Why don't you let our fans here at Turn 5 Racing tell them about your history and your background with your military service?
Well, I joined the Air Force in 1961, and I served till I served 4 years active and 2 years in reserve. So at 67, I think I got the final discharge. And I went in, it was peacetime, and I think in 1964, Vietnam broke out. And I didn't get over there a lot, but I was stationed in the Eastern Air Force, and they sent me over there, what they call TDY, temporary duty, the Western Air Force, and I flew C-130. I wasn't a pilot; I was a loadmaster, and we flew into Nam several times, and actually we took cargo into Nam, mostly mail and food supplies, and then we would come out and go to Thailand or Okinawa, Japan, just different places around, carrying different things, and the last part of my tour over there was we flew back and we brought bodies back, and that really broke me up to have to ride in a plane full of Americans that had given their life for their country, and and actually when the last time I was over there and we came back, we flew all the way to Travis Air Force Base in California. Well, actually we flew from Vietnam to Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii, and then there to Travis Air Force Base in California, and then we went across the country to Dover, Delaware, and took the bodies there. So we were with them for quite a while. C-130 don't fly that fast, so we're not. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how long it took to get to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, but I couldn't. Most of the time when I flew, I'd get on top of a pallet of cargo and I'd go sleep, because in the air I didn't have a job, except for figuring the weight and balance. I loaded the plane, and then I figured the weight and balance and turned it into flight operations. But I couldn't sleep all the way back because I was. It just bothered me to have all those dead soldiers in there, and I think we had about 20 of them. I think 20, 22, something like that. But that really broke me up, and it bothered me a long time. I never really saw any combat over there because I was flying a cargo plane, but I saw a lot of the results of the combat. In '64, it wasn't so much as it was later, but anyway, when I got out of active duty in '65. It was actually January '65. I got out, and I went home, and I started watching the news on television, and I saw the bodies come into Dover, and that just broke my heart, to see all that many Americans that you serve with guys that leave your unit and go over and they get into combat, and the guys that I served with weren't. Some of the pilots would go to helicopter squadrons or whatever, but the biggest part of them were engineers and whatever, and they'd go over and on 130s, and the 130s were they used them as gunships. And they did a lot. The 130 was really a workhorse over the years. But yeah, I was proud to serve my country, and I like Jeff. I think that everybody that served has a special feeling for those that have given their life in the service of their country. And I think even today, as I think about the police officers that have given their life in this country, and that's really. That's really something that bothers me now too, because when I got out of the service, I took the test to go on the police department. Of course, I ended up going to another job, but had a lot of friends that were police officers, and I still do, and deputy sheriffs and city police here and there. But anyway, it's been I've been out for many years now, and I spent 33 years working for Florida Power and Light, and I started working out here shooting video in 1983, and still here. So, I'm getting old, and I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it, but it's I've enjoyed racing all my life. I went to the racetrack in 1953 at Saramana Speedbowl, and halfway between Bradenton and Sarasota, and I got hooked, and here I still are. I raced for several years, but never had the money to do very good. So, but I enjoyed it, and now You know, in my latter years, I've retired from Florida Power and Light, and all I do is my video, and I love the racing, I love the video, and if I could just make enough money to keep my equipment going, we're doing all right. So.
Well, quick little production meeting here. We're coming up about on the halfway point already of the season, if you can believe that. We introduced the Fans' Choice interview this week, a good way to get the fans interacted. Any ideas or anything like that you want to let the fans know that we're working on, and maybe some things coming up for the future here at Turn 5 Racing at DeSoto?
Well, we've got a thing called the Move of the Night coming up, and Robert Howell Photography is going to sponsor it. And what we'll do, there's about 4 or 5 of us that are going to watch for different moves on the track. You know, somebody saved from a wreck or you know, whatever. And then we're going to let the fans vote on it. And then when the winner, the driver that wins, is going to get a trophy. And we've made a trophy out of a piston and an engine, and we've polished it and sprayed it with clear, and they're going to put a little plaque on it. And so, you know, you guys get trophies all the time, you know, and they get bunches of them, and they give them away to kids and whatever. But I just felt like these little trophies with the car parts on them. It may not be all pistons, it may be a gear sometime, or you know, whatever. But I think it's something different that they treasure.
Something unique.
Yeah,
something different.
Exactly.
Well, Bob, I love working with you, and I'm happy to call you my partner in crime out here with Turn 5 Racing. But more importantly, I'm happy to call you a friend, and I want to thank you for your service that you put forth there in the Air Force and your military service. And I love hearing old stories, you know, from your racing days and your military days and your FPL days and all that stuff. And I love working with you, and we're halfway home. We're coming in the summer months here at DeSoto Speedway. Things are heating up, not only on and off the track, so keep tuned to Turn 5 Racing. We want to thank everybody that tunes in each and every week. We want to make this is a show for you. This is a show for the fans and a show for the drivers, and to showcase this great facility we have here at DeSoto Speedway. So I want to thank all of you for your continued support of Turn 5 Racing. This is your show. We want to get you interactive, so keep an eye out for the Robert Howell Photography Move of the Race coming up here in the next few episodes of Turn 5 Racing. Tonight's racing action was kicked off with the Take Aim Gun Range Street Stocks going for 30 laps here tonight. Tyler Lau, driver of the number 27 car, he went to victory lane the last time out, and he would look to try to continue his winning ways tonight. But Jeff Firestein, he had that 93 car hooked up, as he would let the 93 car be out front all race long. He leads wire to wire, and Jeff Firestein puts the number 93 car into victory lane for the Take Aim Gun Range Street Stocks. Tyler Lau in the 27 car, not quite enough to get back to victory lane, but another great second place run for him. And Mike Caravan in the 45 continues to rack up the points, and he finishes in third.
And Tristan Collins and Nikki and Amanda, John, all these guys worked very, very hard on this car, and we finally got it.
Well, as far as the heat race goes, I just don't want to burn the tires off the car. I mean, the heat races are pretty much pointless. They're for you fans, pretty much. But unfortunately, tires are expensive. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. Some started happening with the motor. But good for Jeff. I'm happy for him. Congratulations to him. It's good to see him back in victory lane. I got to thank Rich from Rich's AC. He's the one who put this whole thing together. I don't do anything on this. He just hands me the wheel and says drive. So I appreciate that, and I thank him very much. Everyone else who's helped me out, my mom, my dad, my sister, Skip, Scott, all the fans, obviously, for coming out and hanging out and obviously supporting us, and then TMFL.
Next up, the mini stocks were in action for 25 laps. Cameron Cruz in the 22 car, he would set the pace early on, but he would soon get company from the 73 of Randy Johnson and the 28 of Eric Daniels. These three cars would battle all race long. Johnson and Cruz side-by-side racing for the majority of the race, but in the closing laps, problems for the 22 of Cameron Cruz, as something would go wrong on that 22 car. It would set up a green-white checkered finish, and Randy Johnson still filling in for Ronnie Robinson. Randy Johnson takes the 73 car to victory lane. Eric Daniels in the 28 car gets his best finish of the season, coming home in second. And the 99 of Johnny Murray with a top 3 finish as he tries to close in on the points lead here in the mini stock division.
Temperature cooled off a little bit with the clouds and everything. It really helped a lot. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Looks like we got a halfway decent crowd tonight. Cameron for driving me clean. I was really surprised, but he really did, and I want to thank him for that. And everybody at Elsa came in, second, third. Eric did good. Johnny did good. Everybody ran good, clean race. Looked like we all had fun.
A little nervous in the beginning usually, but first of all, I gotta say, I gotta thank my wife. Last week I didn't thank her enough, and gotta thank my little boy Porter here. He's my #1 fan. I gotta thank Ronnie. He helps me every week on the car. Randy's helped me out. All these drivers are very clean drivers, and it feels great to be up here, and hope we can continue to get the success and get the win.
It feels really good. I don't know what happened on the 3 restarts. It just wouldn't go. So I think once it got hot, it started to get better. So I'd like to thank my dad and Ronnie and Randy and all the fans for coming out.
Next up, the DeSoto Speedway Bombers were in action. Earlier on, Jeff Firestein took the number 93 Street Stock to victory lane, and he looked to do the same in the number 32 Bomber. He had that car out in front and in clean air the majority of the race, and 2 wins in one night for Jeff Firestein as he takes the number 32 car to victory lane. Randy Spicer in the 22 car adds to his points lead with a second-place finish, and Bubba Thompson in the number 93 car with his best finish of the 2015 season.
Jesse and Jeff Gilbo back here does our transmissions. Dean's tree service, Dean and Brandy and Tammy, and of course everybody again who helps us on these cars. I got to thank everybody.
He got so far ahead, we needed them extra laps. It's been a great night, and thank you for coming. We'll see you again next week.
It was a little loose, but I want to thank Dean and Jeff for letting me have the opportunity to drive this car. I want to thank my son for helping me with this car, and I'm glad all you fans came out tonight.
Then it was time for the main event, the Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Models back at the high banks of DeSoto Speedway for 100 laps around the 3/8 mile. The number 30 of Jesse Dutilli, the winner the last time out. Well, he would set the fast time in qualifying, and he would pull pill number 6, so he would have to start back in the 6th spot. That would put Dylan Bigley in the 128 and Nick Neary in the 17 car, our points leader, on the front row. Early on, Dylan Bigley had the 128 car running up front, but it didn't take long for Jesse Dutilli to work his way up through from the 6th position. Jesse Dutilli works his way up, and he will take the top spot, bringing Anthony Campy in the 81 car along with him. Campy and Dutilli ran first and second the last time out. Campy looking to try to get back at the 30 of Dutilli and get back into victory lane. While they would battle on, Steve Dorr in the number 94 car, he would patiently work his way up through the field, and he would begin to contend near the midway point of the race, and he would be running up in the top 3 the whole rest of the way. Near the end of the race, some problems for Anthony Campy on a restart as he would make contact with the 51 of Michael Atwell. So Campy, he has to go to the rear, and he has to try to work his way back up through the field. While all this is going on, Steve Dorr is able to put the 94 car up into the 2nd spot. And Joe Boyd in the 5 car, didn't talk about him much early on in the race. He had to start from the rear. After starting from the rear and making a few pit stops, Joe Boyd would put himself in position for a great finish at the end of the night. Jesse Dutilli had to fight off a lot of restarts, but the 30 car of Jesse Dutilli was the class of the field once again, and Jesse Dutilli goes back-to-back in the Turner Tree and Landscape Super Late Models. Jesse Dutilli picks up the victory. Steve Dorr in the number 94 car comes home with a great 2nd place finish, and Joe Boyd comes back to finish 3rd after having to start at the rear of the field.
It was a little bit of a chore. I knew I had to come back strong. I'm pretty sure he brought a different car. I'm sure he went and did a little homework or brought a different piece or whatnot, but it's always a tough competitor. Integrity Transmissions, Carbon Motorsports, FLF race car, Chevrolet was awesome. We missed setup just a smidge, hit adjust my line like you said a little bit. Steve Dorr raced me hard, clean. I got in one way too hard, locked my rear tires up, slid into him. Glad we were all able to save it because could have been bad, but it was a good race. I raced real hard. Man, it's cool to win back-to-back here. This is 4 in a row for us for the last 4 races we've ran, so it's pretty cool. But we got to thank everybody who helps me: Cameron Cruz, Kenny Gibson, my brother Jeffrey's here from the other side of the country, from the military tonight, who's in the flag stand, so didn't get a chance to wave at him. I was too busy trying to drive.
It was good. We did a complete makeover on the car because it hadn't been raced. But first I want to apologize to Anthony. I got underneath him there on that restart, and I had a tight car, so I tried to get down on the apron to stay off him, and I actually got up into him. So I don't like doing that. I feel like I owe him an apology for that, and if he'd have laid back on me, I had it coming. But Jesse, congratulations, and same with Joe Boyd. But I want to thank Micah and Bob and Buford, the guys that helped me tonight a lot, and finish line, Tim and Daniel, and then race car engineer and all-star, and all you guys for coming out and supporting races.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, this is a new car. First time out with it, and you know, we got to work the bugs out with it. I pitted early there, it just wasn't right. I knew we'd be in trouble, but it paid off. You know, I wish there was a little more laps. I think I was catching Steve there, but you know, it was a good race.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for another great night of racing here at the high banks of DeSoto Speedway. Happy Memorial Day to all of our fans out there. We look forward to seeing you all out here next Saturday night. It's going to be a great night as we welcome back the school bus figure eights. Got a big demolition derby race coming up next Saturday night, as well as a 40-lap feature with the DeSoto Bombers. Our Enduro Series is going to be back. We're going to have the road course race, the flagpole race, the Enduro race, even going to have the powder puff race going on next Saturday night. So for more information, log on to DeSoto Speedway's website at DeSotoSpeedway.net and check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. On behalf of the great staff here at DeSoto Speedway and Bob Culbertson behind the camera, I'm Jake Wilson, thanking you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Turn 5 Racing.